Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Elizabeth. I'm a kindergarten teacher in California. If this is your first time to my channel, just want to say hello. This video is going to be me just chit-chatting with you and giving you kind of like a mid-year update. I haven't vlogged a lot this school year. I've done some kind of like informational videos, tutorials, but I just want to like have a really casual conversation with you, kind of sharing where we're at in the school year, kind of what we're doing, and just mention a couple of exciting things that are happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the video. So first of all, I have not vlogged in my classroom hardly at all this year, and I don't regret that, just because I know I get a lot of requests and stuff on Instagram for that kind of thing, but if you understand what it's like being a teacher, I know you'll have an understanding heart. The first like 3 months of school, it's just, you get home after teaching and you're just exhausted. So as crazy as the school year gets, my teaching job is like #1 over YouTube and everything. And I know if you're a teacher watching this, you understand that. I have a really understanding audience and everything. And so I'm sorry, not sorry that I have been vlogging or haven't been vlogging, but that's kind of life. I feel like I wanted to take a couple minutes and just share with you kind of where we're at and everything, maybe just kind of walk around a little bit so you can maybe see the classroom. I am going to be doing some videos on my classroom tour, and kind of breaking them up into smaller videos for you guys, kind of bite-sized videos, just showing and sharing the different areas of my room. But I wanted to just kind of update you with where we're at in the school year, what we're doing, what life is like, all of that good stuff. So I guess I'll start with like what it's been like so far. I have a really good class, and I mean it. My students are just love bugs and joy bugs, and the parents that I have now, I teach at a private school, and I feel like the parents are pretty invested. I have a lot of parents who come in and volunteer and are just super sweet and giving with their time and resources, which always helps just kind of like take the pressure off. You know what I mean? If I need to prep something or whatever, I had a parent come in and prep all of my write the room activities for next month. So anyway, so there's things like that that happen, which really helps me not have to spend my time focused on prepping, and I can do one-on-one activities and, you know, reading groups and things with my students that I really feel like make a huge difference. Not that the other stuff doesn't make a difference, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so aside from my students being wonderful and everything, November and December, so September came and we started school, and I literally crashed every single night because it is exhausting being a kindergarten teacher, because you're not just like teaching, you are training at this age. Some of the students obviously have never been even in a classroom setting, so they have no idea what to expect. And so in September, it's just like every night I did nothing else. I literally came home, my husband was like, "You have no words." I'm like, yeah, because I've spent them all talking to kiddos all day, and which is normal. You're kind of getting and breaking yourself into getting into a new routine. And then October came, we went on a field trip. It was so much fun. We went to a pumpkin farm in the area, and the students just had a blast, and so did I. And it was kind of like our first field trip together, and they did great. I do really have a good crew. The other thing is we don't have a bus at this school because we are such a small school. So to get to field trips, parents have to volunteer, which means they're driving and they are chaperoning on field trips. So I had 4, 5, 6 maybe parents on the field trip with myself in the class, and so it just made it a lot easier. And then November came and things started getting really crazy, because once November hits, it's like all the holiday stuff hits. Thanksgiving is here, you're starting to practice for Christmas programs, you're making sure that you're doing assessments regularly. I love to progress monitor too, so I probably over-assess my kids, and not over-assess, but I do like to assess a lot just so that I can kind of see their progress as we go on throughout the school year. We also had our first set of parent-teacher conferences. So it was just like crazy town. Then December came, and it was our Christmas program. We had 2 class parties. I did a classroom transformation in November with the Very Hungry Caterpillar, which was so much fun. a ton of work. However, it was hands down like the best experience ever. If you've never seen a classroom transformation, I will link my blog post down below. Kind of goes through everything that we did in detail. It was amazing. I was glad to be done, but it was just one of those times the students had so much fun. We got through the classroom transformation good, then Christmas rolled around and we had all the things happening. Our classroom parties, we do a Polar Express pajama party, which is fun. We do a gingerbread man party and a scavenger hunt that day. And then we do, I have to make sure I'm not like cutting my head off. And then we do Christmas programs. We have Christmas programs, which is like just extra, and the students are all super excited and feeling like adrenaline just from it being like Christmas time and everything. And it just gets a little crazy. Just gonna be honest. And then once Christmas break hits, it's like you're able to take a breath for a little bit. But if you're like me, I have other commitments outside of just school. Like my husband and I serve in ministry, so we had ministry commitments. We had another program. I mean, it was just a really busy season. And then this year, I'm typically like on top of Christmas presents and Christmas cards, and this year our Christmas card was like literally the only picture that I could find of all of us sitting together. It was not like coordinated or like we were all wearing different mixed matched clothes, but whatever, you know, that's life. Every other year I've done really detailed cards and pictures and everything, and this year I just took a deep breath, gave myself some grace, and I feel like you need to do that sometimes. And then and then this year we also did, I told my husband, I'm like, babe, I'm gonna send you a bunch of links and I just need you to buy from the links, and then we're gonna do some gift cards this year because it's just one of those years. It's like we can either spend our energy out in the hustle and bustle shopping for stuff, or we can just be generous with a gift card and a really sweet note to people that we love for Christmas. And we did. We normally don't do that, but this year it was like, I understand people who have to do that now. So, and then we had break. It was wonderful. Thanksgiving break, I did not do anything. I literally, well, I take it back. I just like worked the entire time on Teachers Pay Teacher stuff, but I didn't do anything like household related. And then I got done with Thanksgiving break and wasn't feeling recharged. I was still feeling kind of like overworked. And I have a tendency to be like a workaholic anyways. And then December came and we had 14 days off for our break, our Christmas break. And I just told myself, I'm like, I'm just gonna do one thing for the house every day. If it's like organizing a cupboard or pantry or organizing my closet. So I ended up having a really wonderful and productive Christmas break. And so now we're back from break. It is the 10th of January and we had a field trip on Tuesday. We went to a planetarium. This month we're learning all about community helpers. And on Monday I had a librarian come in. On Tuesday we went to a field trip. We went on a field trip to the planetarium and learned about space and everything, but then tied it in with astronauts. And then Wednesday, I had my friend Tiffany come in. She is the cutest pregnant woman ever, and she's a nurse. And so she was so great, you guys. I'm serious. Like, I knew she was gonna be good, but she like took it to another level. I'm like, if you ever want to quit being a nurse, you should be a teacher because you're just that good. And so I'll put a clip here of her. Let me put a clip here of her with the kids. It was so precious.
He calls to his wife and like, call 911. And so she calls 911 and the ambulance comes. Do you guys know the ambulance sound? Who can help me make an ambulance sound? Go ahead. They take Hank and they take him to the hospital. Because hospitals, different from like a doctor's office, hospitals have an emergency room.
So that brings us to today. Today is Thursday, and we didn't have anybody come in today for community helper. However, we do have a policeman scheduled for tomorrow. One of my students' dads is a police officer, and he brings his police car and talks to the students about safety, about how policemen are here to help and serve the community. And then he talks about gun safety and then we go to his police car and the students get to take a picture in his police car. It's the best thing ever. They love it. And so this whole month is all about learning about our community and people in our community and how they serve us, and it just hopefully develops this like appreciation. Alexa, turn off. It hopefully develops just this appreciation and love for those who serve our community. Okay, what else? What else can I talk about? Okay, so it's January and the students have been reading, like starting to really blend consonant blends. We know the short vowel sounds. We know some of the long vowel sounds, but we haven't applied those rules yet to our words. So we're doing like CVC words, consonant vowel consonant words, like sun, cat, bat, that kind of thing. And I did my first reading assessment today with my students and it was so cute. So I do progress monitor. So I do, let me show you. I'll grab a book and show you some progress that has been happening in class. Okay, I'm gonna flip you around. Okay, so these books I actually sell in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, but this is my favorite way to progress monitor. And this was from earlier, this was September, October, November. So before we start reading, we obviously want to build the foundation for our students with letter identification, letter recognition, letter sounds. And so I do assessments with the students once a month. So we start in September, so we start early September. So I did the first assessment in September, which means that on September 13th, this student knew 18 out of 26 of their letters. And then I just put like, I color coordinate it. So if I have a green check mark, I use a green pen here to write the score down. And then I just use a different color pen. And then once they get to like 25 or 26 letters, I pretty much call them fluent. And then we move on to consonant blends. So anyways, this product is in my store. This is an example. So they read and color all the cues that they see. They trace letter patterns, AB patterns, there's AAB patterns, ABB patterns. They color and trace pictures and the, they color the pictures and trace the letters to complete the word. And then every page is formatted the same way, except that it's just all the letters of the alphabet. So anyways, one last thing. I don't do these in order. Like when I give them the assessment, typically what I'll do is I'll point to a letter, and then if they get it, then I'll check it, and then I'll point to a different letter, and a different letter. Like I go random order because obviously the kids know ABCs, but I point to them in a different way. At this point of the year, they are starting to blend consonants together and make like words, which is exciting. So I did do my first reading assessment today. So I've moved now from progress monitoring and assessing that way, the way that I just showed you, and I'm assessing basically them reading basic sentences and CVC words. And this, I got through, they take forever, so I have to remember that, but I got through 6 students in 30 minutes. So I was hoping that would be, I would be able to get a little further in that, but we are just starting. And I think what I'm gonna have to do is kind of split my assessments into 2 days just in the beginning until they can start reading a little bit quicker. Because normally what I do is I take 4 days in the week and I do small group work, and I just split the class into 3 different groups, and then I just do small group work those days. And then the 5th day I do assessments. But if they're taking as long as they are with assessments right now, I just need to kind of rejigger my schedule. And I use, it's a hot mess right now, but this is our rainbow table, and I use that for my small groups. And I absolutely love small groups. It's my favorite time of the day. We do, I mean, I don't know if it's my favorite time of the day. There's a lot of times in the day that I have favorites, but we do like a free choice time in the afternoon, and I basically break the students up. So those 3 pages right there, all of their names are on them, so I can't get too close. So on each of those pages, there is a name for a different part in the classroom. So like that area is Tinkertown. Then we've got tables, and then sorry if I'm giving you vertigo, over there, this stage is creative play, and they are assigned an area, and during that free choice time they can go to that area and play. And then I take the other students, I'll call names, I have them split into 4 different groups. I call the students in that group, and then they come to the table and they do table time with me while the other students are playing. And I have this rule where if we're at table time and you have something to say, or you have a question for Mrs. Caller, you have to come up, and instead of saying, Mrs. Caller, Mrs. Caller, Mrs. Caller, you come up and you put your hand on my shoulder until I like address you. And that has been a lifesaver because I can be like right in the middle of an assessment and not skip a beat with the assessment, because that is so annoying and hard for this student that I'm assessing when there's constant interruption. And so I just have this rule that you put your hand on my shoulder and wait for me to respond, just because then I can finish, or the student can finish the thought in small group. And it's just a way to teach manners. We are on day 78. We put an apple on our apple tree for each day. We count to 100 every day. And then we have this song. It's by Jack Hartman. If you've never heard of Jack Hartman, he's also a YouTuber, but does like educational videos and things for students, for young kiddos, and for teachers like me. And he has this song, I think it's count to 100 every day. I mean, I know the lyrics. I think it's a counting to 100 song. I'll try and find it and link it down below, but it's count to 100 every day. Keep your mind and body in shape. Let's get fit. Have some fun. Count to 100 by ones. And then there's a different exercise for each set of 10. So like the first one is rubber band stretch. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then you go all the way to 10. And then he does like a different physical exercise for every set of 10, which is fun. And then after we count, we put an apple on the apple tree, and we use this pointer that I got from Lakeshore, and I hand it to a student that was counting the best, and they get to point to each of the apples, and we count as a class to the day that we are on. And then once we get to 100, then we're done, and we have our 100th day of school party. So it is coming up. Our 100th day of school party is coming up. I have a product for that in my Teachers Pay Teacher store. I will link it down below if you're interested. We use a lot of the activities and things in that pack. It's really fun. So I do need to start prepping that, because that's going to be like in a month. It starts like February 1st, I think it is for us. So anyways, okay. You guys, I told you this is gonna be like a 5-minute video, and I can already tell it's gonna be longer. So I will end the video there. Kind of a weird place to end it, but I don't wanna get too chatty with you. I did wanna mention a couple things before I go really quick. If you haven't joined me on Instagram, go to Instagram. I am so active on Instagram. You'll see kind of like my daily life. I try and upload here as much as I can, but YouTube takes a little bit longer with editing and stuff, and Instagram is just a little bit more convenient. So I have a lot of content on there I think you'll find useful. I will link it down below. Also, I'm gonna be trying to schedule out content here on YouTube and be a little bit more deliberate and planned out with my content. So if you could do me a favor and comment down below with what you would love to see. Maybe this video sparked some interest, or you have a question or a comment. Comment down below to give me some ideas on what you want to see, because that helps me just know what you guys want, and then I can give you the content that you want. So I think that's all I've got to say. I will see you guys very soon. I have several videos filmed already. I just need to get them edited and up on my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. I always forget my plug. Okay, what else do I say? Oh, and if you want to like this video, if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. And I think that's it. Okay, I will see you guys later. Bye.